Nightmare up there.
Oh, I'll bet.
They're
No,
both
they're in New York, aren't they?
No, they're both
The
there.
Royals?
Oh, the Royals might be.
No, I thought they were both up there tonight.
there were two games
I think they
already.
started, well, they
Or
played,
they switch it?
I think they.
Oh, maybe they
I don't know,
switched
I'll
it.
look.
I know they were talking about they were both gonna play playing.
They started in New York. I thought they were down here for this one. I don't know.
Here we go. Yeah, KC at New York.
We don't have that problem here
Oh,
in St.
okay.
Louis.
Cause they were talking like it was gonna be both games here.
Scheduling problems.
Mr. Schilt has a team in the playoffs.
Well, I guess not the Royals, they didn't know it.
Good thing we got rid of him.
Chiefs knew it.
Yeah.
Regular meeting of Washington, Missouri City Council, Monday, October 7th, 2024, 7 p.m. Fair,
Yes.
Briggs,
Here.
Coulter,
Here.
Heidrich,
Aye.
Holtmeyer,
Here.
Patke,
Here.
Reed,
Here.
Wessels.
Here.
Please rise for pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I like that shirt. Thanks.
Will all the council members answer if they have or have not read the minutes of the council meeting dated September 23rd, 2024? Fair,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Coulter,
Yes.
Heidrich,
Aye.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Patke,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Wessels.
Aye.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Coulter to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved.
Approval and adjustment of agenda, including consent agenda. You have the collector treasurer's report summary for June 2024, investment report for June 2024, final payment request for Don Avenue and Pottery Road intersection, and the final payment request for McGrath compensation and classification study.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Coulter. No discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Consent's approved.
Priority items, mayor's presentations, appointments, and reappointments, Board of Adjustment appointment.
Dear council members, I herewith submit for your approval the following for appointment to the Board of Adjustment. Good old Mark Scornia, term expiring September of 2029.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Heidrich to approve. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thanks, guys.
Citizens' comments?
Anyone would like to make a comment, please approach the mic. And you don't look familiar, sir, if you wouldn't mind telling us who you are.
It's going to be later in, but no real prepared remarks here. I just wanted to be the guy here to comment on the events across the street from the other month.
I'm sorry, can you come up
Can
and
you,
state your
you
name
need
and
to
address,
come
please?
up there so she can get it for the record, your name and
Add your
address.
name and
Nathan
address.
Wilcoxon, 324 Olive Street. I wanted to come by and comment on the incident at the Washington Coffee Shop, which is my favorite hangout here in town, and I would like there to be fewer semi-trucks impacting the side of it. Also, there have been, a number of times in the past where I and certainly plenty of other people here have been at that intersection. The truck is making a turn. We all know, what that can do, and it's a situation where you have to back up and hope that nobody's behind you, or else get run over by a new truck employee who doesn't necessarily know how to handle his vehicle. I was talking with my dad about this. His suggestion was obviously there's trucks that have to be coming through the middle of town. It would be pretty great if there could be some kind of ordinance or sign that there's no turns allowed at that intersection. I'd actually ran into this morning on the bike trail one of the public works employees who knew about the more about the incident than I did, and was saying that all the time is these truck drivers are just using GPS, and it's something where the system will route them through areas like this. I mean, obviously it's the largest streets, and on a computer algorithm it'll show up perfectly well. as a route, but in practice, again, we can see what happens to our wonderful establishment here. So obviously this isn't somewhere we can petition Google, you know, to do anything about this, but, you know, I don't have any, you know, expert opinions on what could be done here, but I just wanted to be the voice of criticism and say that that intersection could use some kind of regulation to keep an incident like last month's from repeating itself. So that's my piece.
Thank you. Thank you. I know some communities have local deliveries only. That's very possible, but that was a Dollar General truck. And just as the gentleman said, they're not on 3rd Street or MacArthur. They're on 5th and Jefferson. I mean, still not the right street to make a turn on, but unfortunately, delivery trucks are bigger nowadays, and the GPS probably didn't route them that direction, and an inexperienced driver is going to cause that problem. I've thought a lot about this, thought we'd have a lot more conversations about this in the last week or two, but we got to be very creative in order to tell someone they can't drive on 5th Street or Jefferson Street.
No, it's a truck route.
Right. That is a
Well,
truck
it's
route.
just, it's a truck route until you get to 47. That portion of Fifth Street is not a truck route.
That
Tech-
portion of Fifth Street is not a truck route.
That's correct.
So how do you get from the east to west?
You can go, I mean, if you need to make a delivery off of a truck route, you take the fastest route that you can going off of there. But then, once you make that, you're not supposed to be taking Jefferson Street like the driver did, as the gentleman said, you know, from going Jefferson Street and then going right on East Fifth. Technically, they should have come off of 100 and then taken East Fifth, went to their destination, turned around and went back. We only have one street in town now that is a truck route, and that's not causing a problem necessarily, because all your highways are truck routes if you look on the map. But your traffic committee addressed this issue years ago. I don't, you know, back in the day before we had a transportation sales tax, and streets were improved based on assessing them a linear foot. Your lot, you would be assessed a bill based on the number of linear feet that you had in front of the street. And the only way to get around that is if it was declared a truck route. Well, you can only imagine what our map looked like after some time, and some mysteriously Ward 4 had a lot of truck routes. And so, anyway, once that was done away with, good old Harry made sure that we had those in there. But anyway, traffic committee has since gone through and cleaned all that up. They talked about that. Basically, you're supposed to be on that truck route, go make your delivery. It's not that you can't be driving off of a truck route, but you're supposed to take that, the most direct route.
And didn't we have for a while, we were looking at some construction on that intersection, widening?
That was, but we ran into, that was part of the Jefferson Street project that we just bid out recently or whatever. But if you'll remember, we came back to you, we had some issues with acquiring right-of-way.
Yeah.
And it was gonna be too cost
Nobody wants to
prohibitive.
give it up.
Well, true, so.
I think they might have hired a new driver that day, I'm not sure.
My sources told me that was his second day on his own.
Thanks, sir.
Glad nobody was hurt. Anybody else? Nope.
Report of department heads, Stormwater Management Fund, 1550 West Main RV Park.
Good evening, council. Oh, I thought I had a slide in here for that. So this is the RV park off West Main Street up there that they're proposing to develop. And this is a payment in lieu of detention. This is similar to the discussion we had the previous councils over off East Fifth Street, that they are at the bottom of the watershed for the St. Johns Creek. And it's close to the Missouri River there. So detention actually, you know, it's better served if you don't have detention that low in the watershed. So here they would be proposing to do a payment for what the cost of construction would be, which is about $8,760 instead of constructing the detention.
So they do want to build a retention? or
No, they do
No,
not.
they do not. So instead of building it,
I
they'll
don't know why
just
you would. I mean, you got
direct the
creek
water
right
straight
there.
into the creek, right?
But it's required in our code, that's why we.
That's correct.
It's required that you either build it or request
Make a payment in lieu of.
So we're gonna possibly allow this, correct? I mean, that's what we're,
Staff recommendation would be
Yes,
is take
that's
the
our
money.
recommendation.
Take the money and run. So we need something to accept it, or?
Yep. We need you
so
to,
move. Yeah. So far.
Motion by Wessels, second by Coulter.
Read almost.
I'm sorry. Not really. Further discussion, guys?
That's for you guys.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Street closure request, block party.
I'll take that one. Good evening, council. In your packet, you'll see a street closure request and also a letter from Sergeant Grissom. The traffic committee did review the request. It's for a block party on the date is October 19th from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. It involved the closure of Johnson Street from West 2nd to West Main. And then along with that would be West Main Street from Brand to Johnson, if that makes sense. So it'd be an L, essentially. They did obtain signatures from all residents that are impacted. It's a block party, so they're all probably going to participate or they're aware of it. So we saw no issue with that and recommend approval of the closure.
I guess we want to know whether or not we're invited.
Yeah, that makes a difference.
Right.
As far as I know, I'm not the organizer.
Joe? You got a problem?
Organize it. I don't know.
A couple familiar
What?
names.
Yeah, there's some
You want-
names we
You
recognize.
want this to work or not?
Are we invited or not? No. You're close enough as long as I
Keep that music
Sign my
down.
name.
Yeah, I move we approve it.
No bougie woogie music.
Right.
Second.
Motion by Wessels, second by Patke. Any further nonsense? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Ordinances and resolutions, an ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a contract agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and KJ Understall Construction Company for the 2024 Earthcrest Extension Bridge Project.
Patke.
Introduced by Patke.
So this is the bridge project we discussed in the workshop that's off Rabbit Trail. This is the bridge portion of Fox Crest. It's going to North Crest Drive. Here's a exhibit of what that project scope looks like. KJ Understall was the low bidder at about $1.2 million. So under budget and under estimate.
Move we approve.
no, we need it's an ordinance.
Gotta read it individual. Discussion, guys. Long time coming.
You know it.
Second reading, Sherry, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a contract agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and KJ Understall Construction Company for the 2024 Earthcrest Extension Bridge Project. Heidrich?
Aye.
Briggs?
Yes.
Patke?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Coulter?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Wessels?
Aye.
By your vote, ordinance 7A is approved. B, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of an STBG program agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for the Front Street ADA Improvements Project, STBG 6400629.
Coulter.
Introduced by Coulter.
This is our agreement with MoDOT for our STP grant project for Front Street from Jefferson to Stafford Street for additional construction funds.
No discussion? Second reading.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of an STBG program agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for the Front Street ADA Improvements Project, STBG 6400629. Heidrich?
Aye.
Briggs?
Yes.
Patke? Meyer? Coulter?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Wessels?
Aye.
By your vote, ordinance 7B passes. C, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of an STBG program agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for the High Street Reconstruction and ADA Improvements Project, STBG 6400630.
Holtmeyer.
Introduced by Holtmeyer.
And this is our agreement with MoDOT for our STP project on High Street from Fifth to Front Street for additional construction funds.
No further discussion? Second reading.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of an STBG program agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for the High Street Reconstruction and ADA Improvements Project, STBG 6400630. Heidrich?
Aye.
Briggs?
Yes.
Patke?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Coulter?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Wessels?
Aye.
By your vote, ordinance 7C passes. D, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of an agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and the Washington Area Ambulance District for firefighters assisting EMS.
Patke.
Introduced by Patke.
Good evening, council. As discussed in the operations meeting, this is a liability waiver essentially for the city of Washington to the ambulance district. Thanks to Mark Piontek for drafting the agreement, and the ambulance district has already agreed to it as well. They've already signed it. As drafted, no comments.
Is this any steps closer to maybe some kind of agreement to merge?
No.
Maybe another
No.
step? Any steps closer?
No, it's two separate governmental agencies. That would be a
No,
major.
one time we talked about possibly working towards that again, but I didn't know.
Well, we've got the agreement for that's already put in place and activated where we, they're calling our dispatch. So we've got that agreement worked out. But as Tim said, they're a completely different political entity all to themselves.
They're actually, our boundaries don't even
No,
correlate.
they don't. Correct. This just covers in case situations like Tim's describing.
Other discussion? Second reading, Sharon.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of an agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and the Washington Area Ambulance District for firefighters assisting EMS. Heidrich?
Aye.
Briggs?
Yes.
Patke?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Coulter?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Wessels?
Aye.
By your vote, ordinance 7D passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Commission,
8A, please.
committee, and board reports. An ordinance approving the final plat of Lafayette at Third in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
You had the preliminary plat of
Yeah,
this.
yeah, this is the final
Sorry,
plat here
it's
at
an ordinance.
Third.
I need somebody to
Holtmeyer.
introduce it.
Not an ordinance.
It's not an,
There we go.
It's not an ordinance.
no, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It says it's
Says,
An ordinance.
So, yeah, we had the preliminary plat last time. This is the final plat for right there at Third and Lafayette, dividing that into 3 separate properties here with a shared access easement between A and B off of Lafayette Street.
Andy already walked us through this.
Yeah, this was.
Further questions? Second reading.
An ordinance approving the final plat of Lafayette at Third in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Heidrich?
Aye.
Briggs?
Yes.
Patke?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Coulter?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Wessels?
Aye.
By your vote, ordinance 8A passes.
Mayor's report?
Guys, the last 10 days for Washington has been pretty darn good. The Fall Festival was well attended. I haven't gotten figures yet from Tyler King to see how many people were here, but it was packed. Brought my grandkids. We had to park here at City Hall just to get downtown. We just approved tonight boring stuff, infrastructure that we have gotten with Front Street, Jefferson Street, High Street, all pennies on the dollar, if you will. Needed improvements all. Third Street's about to be done. And then last week, we learned that one of our own, Wayne, got awarded a national award, and the city, for the second year in a row, also got awarded an American in Bloom thing. And then, to top that off, MoDOT was here, the commissioners, and thanks to all who attended and showed our colors. And I don't know if you guys were here the second day for their closing remarks, but we made some tremendous connections, you guys. One of the reasons we get these grants is because of long-held connections that Sandy, Darren, Sal, and all of you guys have made, and the time spent with those, not just the directors, but the people who escort them and who work with them. We make those connections. We're the ones that get the grants because we have talented grant writers, and I just can't wait for the future. Nothing but good stuff. So, thank you.
That was a good showing.
It was.
Good everything.
City Administrator's report?
I would like to, one item I wanted to address that some of you will take note of. We will have a workshop for solid waste for our waste hauling, our contracted waste hauling at 6 o'clock on the 21st. Our solid waste committee has been working quite a bit, meeting with all of the waste haulers in the area, discussing all options from renewing or getting a contract. Your contract for waste hauling expires in May of 2025, but with the opportunity for a solid waste transfer station and the planning that goes into that, we wanted to go ahead, Charles' office worked to go ahead and get that request for proposals out so that we could go ahead and see if that would help leverage some favorable rates for our citizens to go ahead as we go into that renewal. And so we did not get something tied directly to that, but I think you'll be pleased with the rates when we give you the presentation on the 21st. So at that time, we'd like to talk about what our next steps are, what we need to go ahead and do to secure that contract. The bids are good for 90 days. They were due by September the 30th, so essentially by the end of the year, you're going to have to accept that contract. I will tell you that the rates came in lower than what we anticipated, which is the good news. The bad news is that you still are going to have to figure out a way, unless you want to continue to subsidize those rates, which we do currently under the 5-year term that we are currently under with Waste Connections. You would have to go ahead and continue to do that at more like $2 per household if you wanted to do that. So there's a lot to discuss between now and the end of the year. But the good news is that we got some very favorable rates, probably, I would say, the best in the research that we've gotten in all of Franklin County as far as that goes. So that turned out very well for us.
Who are the players?
Waste Connections, I will tell you, was the lowest. You also had a bid from Grace Hauling and Meridian. And but you've got two of the others, even though they didn't have the lowest bid on that, are interested in still meeting with us about the solid waste transfer station that we could have within the 10 acres that we own right out there by the landfill.
We just about got Waste Connections whipped into shape.
Well, I think for the rates, you probably would want to go ahead and work with them.
Yeah, I mean,
So I know, all I can say is I know in talking with Union, they just recently renewed with Waste Connections after going through the same process. Their rates were over 18 per household. The ones that we got the other day were $16.95. And you currently, the rates, they charge us, I think for regular households, not for seniors, is $15.85, thank you.
when we renew.
So you subsidize, you subsidize over $1 per household, and even more probably for the seniors.
If we renew with Waste Connections again,
Mm-hmm.
are we going to have to, are there gonna be, homeowners gonna be able to have trash cans, or we're gonna have to go to something different, or do we know that yet?
You will, I will tell you, all of the providers that we met with the solid waste, none of those would allow for us to continue as we currently do with setting your own trash
Kinda
cans
what I
out.
thought, yeah,
You'll have to go with their trash cans.
gotcha.
They will have some options, but you'll have to go with their trash cans. Poor Mark, you know, he's our,
option. It looks like a
he's our
refrigerator.
senior on the committee or whatever, so.
I'll buy your old trash can.
If if
Everybody that we.
my wife fills that one up with beer cans, I'm in trouble. I tell you what.
So we'll have a little bit more of a detailed discussion, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention. It's worth its own time, in case you got questions and how we're gonna go ahead and proceed from here.
So Darren, you're saying even the present provider will require that next time we sign?
We'll require that they
No
use,
trash bag, I mean, not
Correct.
trash bags out?
Correct.
Okay.
they're all going to that.
Whoever it is.
Yeah, there was not one that we set in. We individually met with, 6 different? Five different.
Yeah.
So 5 different haulers came in and met with them, talked to them a little bit about our vision of what we see for the solid waste transfer station, and then just talked about what we can anticipate with the contract for the next. Now, the good news is that you're locked into those rates until May of 2025, the current rates, and there was no escalator from year to year in this last contract. This one, there would be, I think, a 4% per year. So,
They stayed the same for 2 years though, didn't they?
I think it was,
First
you're
2
right.
years is
First
held
2 years
solid.
was the same.
Third
Thank
year,
you,
the
Mike.
escalator kicked, 4% kicked in after the second year.
Yep. Correct.
So we'll give you more information about that. I just want to bring it to your attention for the meeting on the 21st. That's all I have.
Council comments?
I don't know if any of you are aware, this just got brought to my attention on, later part of, last week. I don't know if any of you are aware, on 1740 Beaker Road, they're going to start, and Darren, you can jump in whenever you want, because
I will.
you're a little bit more educated than I am. But, they're gonna start a process, and they're gonna have a lot of semis driving up and down 6 days a week, on our new roads that we just put in, all the way to 100 from 1740 Beaker Road. There is going to be a meeting at the P and Z meeting about this next Monday, correct?
Sure, just if I'll
Yeah, just-
go into
yeah,
a little bit.
yeah.
So we received a request, or we received a notice from Franklin County Planning and Zoning. There's a conditional use permit that's being applied for this type of operation. It has not been approved yet. However, as Mark said, the Franklin County Planning and Zoning Commission will be reviewing it on the 15th of this month, which is a Tuesday. Our own Planning and Zoning Commission will be reviewing it on the 14th if they want to provide comments. Unfortunately, the problem that I've always seen with these is that there's such short turnaround. I addressed this with Mark in an email to the Planning and Zoning Commission earlier today, asking about the possibility of the county. I mean, I think it's too late for this situation, but in the future, I mean, that's just such a short turnaround. And just so you know, their Planning and Zoning Commission is the decision body for those types of requests. They don't make a recommendation and pass it on to the commission. They hear the testimony, make a decision that night typically, correct, Mark? Correct. And then so they are. So you may be able to go ahead and provide, or your Planning and Zoning Commission, or you as a council members could go ahead and make comments between now and that time. Turn those over to the county, and then it's all gonna be in front of their lap on the 15th. And the only thing that would keep a decision from being made that night, I would assume, is if the county's Planning and Zoning Commission just decided to table it, so they'd have more time to review it. But there's the operation that Mark's describing. They basically capture methane gas out there. From what I've said, I read the narrative again. They did come and talk to the city, just to kind of brief them about it. It was about 2 weeks ago. And so, but what we're hearing is that you will also, what you'll need is, besides the methane gas that they generate on the dairy farm, they will also be looking to get other food waste from other restaurants, others. That could lead, I think, to as much truck traffic as what Mark's talking about, depending upon how much goes up and down to get out there to the farm to go ahead and do it. But basically what they do is they convert that methane gas into natural gas, and then get that over to Spire somehow.
So I just thought it would, I didn't know if any of you knew about it. I didn't know about it until I got a call last week. So, I know, Mark, you're probably gonna be getting some calls, cause that's our area, and I know we just redid those roads and repaved them, and, that's a lot of people's concerns about those trucks going up and down the roads, several trucks, 6 days a week, and, you know, we already have gotten complaints from, farm trucks. All these years I've been on the council, I've gotten complaints of the farm trucks driving up down roads. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, they gotta do their crops. How do you do it, you know? But now you're throwing on additional, and these are people's concerns. So I didn't, like I said, I didn't know if anybody was aware of it. I wasn't until last week. I thought I'd bring it up. If you guys, I would say show up at the meeting and P and Z and express your concerns.
If you want, if you haven't checked the email from Sarah Skeen, Sarah sent one to all the council that's got the narrative on there, but with regards to the operations, and it's got the application for the permit. So we sent that out. Mark called me up Thursday and I said, we should probably get that out to the council and we'll get it out to you. So we did Friday, but we had just received it ourselves. So.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it, what they're gonna do. I mean, I think it's a great thing. You know, that manure's been going up and down your highways, whether you like it or not, for the last 100 years, to the fields, and to wherever, and the city itself does the exact same thing. You know, we haul it someplace. So if they can make money off of this deal and be profitable, so be it. I know the contract's like a 20-year contract if it goes through, isn't it, Darren? Something like that?
I don't know the ins and outs of the
I
specific
think-
contract,
yeah.
Dwayne. That I don't know.
So, you know, I'm not totally against it. I need to know more about it.
I'm not against it either, Dwayne. I'm against, the direction that they're talking about going with the trucks. Several trucks. Maybe they can send, you know, some trucks the opposite way, or this or that. That's all I was just basically bringing it up for, I mean, like I say, we just did all those roads. And so, do you put a dollar amount, you know, a fee on that to run those roads and for the next 20 years beating them up, extra trucks? I don't know, you know?
Do you know which roads? It says which roads they're gonna take?
This is just what people are telling me. This is just the phone call I
South
got,
Point,
Jeff.
it's likely if they're gonna get on the highway, they're gonna be taking Beaker to
100.
South Point,
Right.
to get to 100. I will caution you that you're within your, you know, your comp plan, within, you know, in receiving federal funds from the same entities that we voted and approved earlier tonight through East West Gateway. South Point is a major roadway, and it is, even though it's new, and I understand Mark's comments, I just want you to know that is a major roadway that we do anticipate heavy traffic on. And there's some developments that we allowed out there. I would say probably are the ones that pose problems, or like those duplexes where you got direct entrance right off of South Point. You know, those pose problems on major roadways. And now we try to avoid those in all of our other right-of-way discussions that we have with developers. But it is a major roadway, so it is designed, or at least anticipated, that you would have higher traffic counts on there. You got two major contractors that use that roadway. KJU, the one you just awarded a contract to for a bridge, has got his shop out there. And then you've also got Vernacci, which is over there at North Goods Mill and South Point. So, like I said, if you want to join in the discussion, the 14th, next Monday night, P and Z will be an agenda item here. And then, but like I said, and then over at the county the following night on the 15th.
But really, the only place that is a city street would be South Point Road.
That's correct.
Up to Jim Peters.
No, it takes over again. There's a spot there, then it goes county, then it goes city again,
Correct.
and then county. So it's
Some of
it's
that paving
past
was
Jim Peters.
Special road district.
Part of it is in portions that they maintain, but it is classified with East West Gateway so that it can receive federal funding.
If they wanted to go out 47, though, part of Beaker would be included too,
That's correct.
if they were to go that way. So 47, if they're going to 47, Beaker, if they're going to 100, it'd be South Point.
Correct, right. I guess that's what I was getting at.
Or a
Are we just
mixture.
concerned, or we back to the truck route situation where, does the city have a stance that we don't go through our city? Or we're just saying in general here?
I don't,
No avoiding the city.
I'm just, and I'm not saying yay or nay, I'm not, like I say, I'm not saying I'm not in favor of this whole thing, I'm just bringing the issue up that I received the calls, people are already bringing us issues up about the trucks, the traffic, the roads,
they
I
had.
didn't even know anything about it.
The applicant, I know, had a informal meeting with property owners out there at the, I forgot, what's the venue out there, Sunset
Bluffs.
Bluffs? I think they had an informational meeting with property owners out there. That's the first that, a lot of those property owners probably heard of it before the public hearings, so.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Patrick, second by Coulter to adjourn. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're done.
Thanks, Darren, for
Chiefs
adding
up
on to
7-0.
that.
Chiefs are winning 7-0.
Are they? 7-0?
Go Chiefs.
Thanks, Joe. I was supposed to be there, but I was dedicated to this meeting.
What a guy. Right. Getting you out of here in time, you can still,
Damn right.
you can watch most of it.